Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Last Viking TV back again. I made an earlier recording, but I didn't realize that after I was recording that my logo that I have down at the bottom here had actually covered almost the whole screen. So I apologize for that, and I'll just go ahead and I'll try to go through what I was covering in the video, and I'll play the background audio as well. So here we go. I don't know if I can, let's see if I got the volume up all the way. I got this volume up all the way, and we should be good. Now, let's go ahead and tune our ears into listening to some pre-recorded audio. All right, let's see if I got that one. Here we go. See how it covers the whole screen? Yeah. What is going on, guys? It's the Last Viking TV back again. It's been a long time since I have made any videos with cryptocurrency. Now, this is all in recap of the new bull run that's been going on with cryptocurrency and how I see it as an individual. Now, keep in mind that anything that I say is just my opinion and strictly my opinion only. I am not a financial advisor. I do not claim to be a financial advisor. Any investments that you hear about on my channel are taken at your own risk, invest at your own risk. All of my stuff is just for what my opinion is and what I'm doing and what I'm thinking of at that time. My channel is going to be in different categories such as bodybuilding, powerlifting, athletics, mechanicals sometimes, building sometimes, gardening sometimes. It's going to be, actually, we're looking at bee farming soon too as well. And then definitely cryptocurrencies. So we're going to be all over the place to kind of keep everybody acclimated with this channel, and that is, there is no direct path as to where this channel is going. It's just all over the place. I had a previous channel before that was only strictly focused on cryptocurrency, and I felt like I couldn't change that in the direction. And so I just kind of tore it down and restarted all over. I wanted to focus on the things that I like to talk about and the things that I like to do. So this channel is for me, but it's for you. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's actually found right below this screen here. There'll be a little click subscribe button down below, and then you hit the bell right next to it to get notified on all of my videos that I ever put out. And thank you for your subscription. It definitely helps this channel grow and costs you absolutely nothing, but again, helps the channel grow. That's just how YouTubers continue their content. Now, so moving on, here we go. We're going to get right into it. I ain't going to waste too much time. This channel is, obviously, you can tell by the title, is what is cryptocurrency? Well, we're going to get right into cryptocurrency. There are going to be a few key points. You can also use a notepad to write down some of this stuff. This is for beginner and intermediate investors for cryptocurrencies. Now, again, this video is for only educated, and this channel is really for only educational purposes only, and that of. So moving on, what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is an intranet-based medium of exchange which uses cryptographical functions to conduct financial transactions. Cryptocurrencies leverage blockchain technology to gain decentralization, transparency, and immutability. The most important feature of cryptocurrency is that it is not controlled by a central authority. The decentralized nature of the blockchain makes cryptocurrencies theoretically immune to the old ways of government control and interference. Cryptocurrencies can be sent directly between two parties. As for example, I can send from me to my wife cryptocurrencies. Just be like, hey, you could use this cryptocurrency that I'm sending to you to buy lunch or while you're at work. And it's sent to her immediately. There's no waiting for it. I don't need to go down to Walmart, wait in line, and be like, oh, we need your phone number, we need this, we need that, we need proof of ID, we need this, we need that, we need this. It's just as simple as send to the wife, click, click, and it's done. I don't need to go down and spend minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, almost an hour waiting in line at Walmart or to a Wells Fargo filling out a whole form of, what I ate for breakfast this morning. That's just an example. So today, cryptocurrency by crypto have become a global phenomenon known to most people. In this guide, we are going to tell you all that you need to know about cryptocurrencies and to share that they can bring into global economic system. So we got a little video here. I'll go ahead and I'll share it with you guys. Okay, here we go. And just to be clear, this is the video that I had shown just without the static feed in the background, and to be precise. So I'll just play it on this clip.
You've probably heard of Bitcoin and how it's essentially digital money. You've probably even heard the term cryptocurrency. But what does that really mean? Why is digital money special? After all, you access your money digitally with a bank all the time. What is a blockchain? What does that have to do with cryptocurrency? Blockchains and cryptocurrencies are innovative technologies with applications across tons of industries. They can work together to accomplish a lot of tasks, not just sending money back and forth. But the truly remarkable thing? They can do it without anyone overseeing it. Let's imagine your bank, but the only fees that it ever took from you was the electrical cost of storing your transaction history. You'd be paying pennies to deposit and withdraw your money, but that's it. A real, physical bank could never do that because it has so many employees and facilities and different things to look after. The mere cents you pay for a deposit or withdrawal would never keep them afloat. But with cryptocurrency, it's entirely possible. This is arguably the key concept behind blockchains and cryptocurrency that you should familiarize yourself. Decentralization. Decentralization is the idea of taking power and authority from one source and sharing it with everyone. Let's imagine the bank again. Right now, a bank has all of these employees and infrastructure that manage whose money is where, who has how much money, where all of the money should be and be moving to at any given moment, and so on until the end of time. The industry of looking after people's money is enormous, and for good reason. It's incredibly complex, and there's a lot at stake. It's a centralized system. You trust the bank, so you give them your money and they look after it, charging you fees in exchange. But what if computer code had been written that could handle all of that stuff? What if nobody needed to make transfers or back up balances or do any of that? The only people that ever needed to be involved with your money was you, and anybody you were transacting with. No need for a bank to check the validity of your transactions. No extra fees for sending money overseas. Nothing. It's all in the code. That's decentralization. You take the bank out of the middle and use the computer code as a means of connecting you directly with other people. The balances in the transactions are held by everyone. That way, the code can quickly check what is and isn't valid. And once it does, it can check everyone else's copy of the balances and transactions to make sure neither of you have cheated anything. The power in decentralization comes from the magnitude of the network. Instead of a bank telling you that you don't have enough money, the code can check for itself on the computers of everyone else on the network. So if you were going to lie, you'd have to get more than half of the network to lie for you. And on a network like Bitcoin with millions and millions of people, that's pretty tough to do. In many ways, it's more secure than a bank. Hacking a bank's servers to alter balances and transaction histories is tough, but not nearly as tough as programmatically convincing millions and millions of people to lie for your personal gain. So using a decentralized system, we've not only cut out the banks entirely, but created something more secure. If you take nothing else away from this course, I hope you understand that concept, decentralization. Taking the power from one place and creating something better where everyone has control. Blockchains and cryptocurrencies are merely the technical tools and incentives on which we can create decentralized systems. So let's talk a bit about the technical stuff now that we understand the benefit. A blockchain is a method of storing data so that it is unalterable. For simplicity's sake, we'll stick with money. So in the case of a network like Bitcoin, the data is a
And now we'll continue with the recording that I had from previously. The video there, a pretty brief summary of what cryptocurrency is all about. And so now understanding cryptocurrency basics 101, where did cryptocurrency originate from? I will cover that. Why should you learn about cryptocurrency? I will cover that. And what do you need to know about cryptocurrency? I will also cover that. So how cryptocurrency works. A few people know about cryptocurrency's emergence as a side product. Another invention, Satoshi Nakamoto, the unknown inventor of Bitcoin. The first and still most important cryptocurrency never intended to invent a currency. So, there are a lot of speculations out there that cryptocurrency was created because of a economic downfall, because of a a hunger for a better life, or a hunger for security of funds, and it's just that's not what cryptocurrency was made for. It was actually, for example, if I just made, all of a sudden, I was a computer programmer, I just made this code, and I was able to lock it in, and I had top security, and I just said, and I sent an email to my friend, I said, hey buddy, check this out. And he gets it, and it opens, and he says, wow, cool. But then guess what? That email was hacked. And because it was hacked, that source code had actually been taken and multiplied and shared that, hey, this is what's going on. But nonetheless, Satoshi Nakamoto, the unknown person, had actually created several million of these codes prior to sending the email over to his buddy. Ding! Right? So Satoshi Nakamoto has millions of Bitcoin locked into a code. And he holds the keys to all of them. So I'll cover the rest of those here in a minute. Real fast, I want to go over something that is, so in one Bitcoin, actually I think I have a better illustration here. So in one Bitcoin, this code here that you see that's circled in red, this right here would be one Bitcoin. For example, you have a code, and the code would look something like this, mixed with a numerical and alphabetical contents. So now, moving on with this, we're going to notice that we want to use probably a smaller size. Here we go. So this code here, okay, is a Bitcoin code. It's not an actual Bitcoin code, but it represents Bitcoin code. So now, if we were to say, okay, I'm going to go and put a buy order in for 20 bucks. 20 bucks will give you this much of a Bitcoin right here, okay? For example. Now, if you want to buy $75 more of a Bitcoin, well, it's not going to be part of this code. You're going to pick from another Bitcoin that's on the blockchain somewhere, and I'll get into the blockchain and how that works in my next video. Right now, this is just basic crash course on cryptocurrencies. We're going to get into how the networking and blockchain works and how all that is affected and how it affects this. So keeping this in mind with your notes, that a blockchain is like this. When you buy, let's say if you first initially invest 20 bucks into Bitcoin, well, you're going to get a portion of this, but then let's say you come back the next day, you're not going to get a portion of this code. You're going to get a portion of another type of Bitcoin that's for sale on the blockchain. And that Bitcoin gets torn to pieces by investors. Sometimes, if you have a large amount of money, you can go in and just buy a whole Bitcoin and just be like, okay, that whole thing is mine. And so it's really not the matter of fact that you actually own this code, and that if you share this code or you buy a portion of this code, somebody else may have access to that code and they could therefore then take your Bitcoin. No, that's not how it works. You take a portion of this code, it goes into kind of a tumbler, and it tumbles and regenerates another code to go into your specific Bitcoin holding cell, right? So you notice that this is kind of like a cell, like an oval, that it goes into there. And as it fills up, you either become 0.0001 or 0.01 or 0.1 or 1.00. 1.00 means that you have a full 1 Bitcoin or a whole. So for instance, down here, the above is a 1 Bitcoin. We're going to see a crypto key is going to be 1. So this whole code here is going to be 1 Bitcoin. Now, as I just described, is that a 0.00001 would be, for example, 1 Satoshi or something like that. Representing, as an example, again, 1/1000th of a cent in US dollars. I'll get into this in the next clip here. We're basically looking at a Bitcoin key, and the key is like I said, separated and segregated into different sections and then tumbled and put into your own security vault, whether that be on whatever exchange or your own private offline cold storage. And I'll get into those in my next videos as well. Once you subscribe to my channel, you'll get to know that as well. And if I fail to mention those things, please just comment down below and be like, hey, Ray, you forgot to mention that in your comment or in your video. So I'll make sure I cover that in my videos if I do forget. For example, Satoshi is a percentage of 1. Obviously, then the whole coin would be, or the whole coin would be whatever coin you're going to have. So Satoshis are across the board in every aspect of cryptocurrency. Sorry, distractions. That was the wife. Anyway, so moving on. Satoshi is across the board called Satoshi, whether you're dealing with Ethereum, BNB, which is a Binance coin, Litecoin, any other coin. It's always going to be 0.0001 or 0.0001 or 0.01 or 0.1. It's always going to be anything on the other side of the decimal is going to be considered a Satoshi. You can have 10,000 Satoshis, 20,000 Satoshis, a million Satoshis. Not really a million Satoshis, but either it's up to the thousands. But you get my idea, or the idea. And so moving on here on the converter to US dollar, 10 Satoshis equals 0.001 of a US dollar. Now, if we increase this amount, we can see that we're getting closer and closer to the center decimal there. And so, sorry, I added instead of taking away. So now we're getting up to 1,000 Satoshis is around almost 10 cents. If we add in 10,000 Satoshis, we're getting up to almost $1. If we add in 100,000 Satoshis, we're almost at $10. So it seems to be 1% of a dollar. If I'm right, I'm not really into, let's see. Yeah, it takes 100 of those to equal $1. So yeah, 1/100th of a dollar is 10 Satoshis. And so, like I said, moving up to 100,000, you're going to get $10 per 100,000 Satoshis. So again, when looking at cryptocurrency, as you see here, this is going to be a cryptocurrency mining rig that on each one of these yellow dots here, on each one of these little fans here, that each one of those is a graphics card for like a computer, but the graphics card are the ones that basically promote, find the codes and solve the codes, and is the brain that solves the graphics codes and all that stuff with the motherboard. So basically, you do have a motherboard, you have an IPU system, and you do have a graphics card. The more graphics cards on one motherboard, as you can see here, each unit has 4 GPU units to one motherboard with probably water-cooled intercoolers and maybe some i9s, Intel i9s or i7s. And this is obviously a multi-million-dollar mining rig. The amount of electricity that this generates is phenomenal. I mean, off the charts with how much energy this thing utilizes. Now, there are several different key points of gaining electricity to power these types of rigs, and that would be a massive farm for solar energy farming. Now, solar energy farming plus Bitcoin go hand in hand. When thinking about investing into solar farming, I think it would be a great idea to start investing in solar farming. Why? Because as Bitcoin becomes more and more approved and more accepted, we're going to need to supply more and more energy. That's just the basic fundamentals of this. So where's the energy going to come from? It's going to come from solar energy farmers. So you can Google that, solar energy farming. If I have enough requests down below in my chat, in my comments down below, I'd be more than happy to do some research on solar energy farming and post a video solely dependent on solar energy farming. So we can keep that in mind into mining for Bitcoin. We'll get into all that. So I just want to give you guys a crash course. Again, this is just a crash course. That is pretty much the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies altogether. Cryptocurrency is going to be basically that. Just one shell, a code inside, portioned out. Each portion gets tumbled, put into your own vault, and you then get your money, and you get to see the reflex of the amount of cryptocurrency that you have, and it'll show you the converter to US dollars or to whatever currency that you have. So after seeing all of the decentralized attempts fail, Satoshi tried to build a digital cash system without a central entity, like a peer-to-peer network for file sharing. This decision became the birth of cryptocurrency. They are the missing pieces of Satoshi found to realize digital cash. The reason why is a bit technical and complex, but if you get it, you'll know more about cryptocurrencies than most people do. So let's try to make it as easy as possible. To realize digital cash, you need a payment network with accounts, balances, and transactions. That's easy to understand. One major problem every payment network has to solve is to prevent the so-called double spending. To prevent that one entity spends the same amount twice. Usually, this is done by a central server who keeps record about the balances. In a decentralized network, you don't have this server. So you need every single entity of network to do this job. Every peer in the network needs to have a list with all transactions to check if future transactions are valid or an attempt to double spend. But how can these entities keep a consensus about these records? If the peers of the networks disagree about only one single or one minor balance, everything is broken. They need an absolute consensus. Usually, you take, again, a central authority to declare the correct state of balances, but how can you achieve consensus without a central authority? Nobody did know until Satoshi emerged out of nowhere. In fact, nobody believed it was even possible. Satoshi proved it was. His major innovation was to achieve consensus without a central authority. Cryptocurrencies are a part of this solution, the part that made the solution thrilling, fascinating, and helped it to roll over the world. What is cryptocurrency? If you take away all the noise around cryptocurrencies and reduce it to the simplest definition, you will find it to be just limited entries in a database no one can change without fulfilling specific conditions. This may seem ordinary, but believe it or not, this is exactly how you can define a currency. Take the money out of your bank account. What is it more than entries in a database that can only be changed under specific conditions? You can even take physical coins and notes, like dollars and quarters and dimes and nickels. What are they else than limited entries in a public physical database that can only be changed if you match the condition that you physically own the coins and notes? Money is all about a verified entry in some kind of database of accounts, balances, and transactions. So, to give a proper definition, cryptocurrency is an internet-based medium of exchange which uses cryptographic functions to conduct financial transactions. Cryptocurrencies leverage blockchain technologies to gain decentralization, transparency, and immutability. So, I'll scroll down here so you guys can take a look at it. So the way that this works is decentralized currency. Cryptocurrency is decentralized. It doesn't have a bank. Although banks are still trying to get their greedy little hands and sticky little hands on it to try to regulate how much cryptocurrency we can and we can't use, and they want to be able to share this information with authorities that then would use, tax every dime and nickel out of us. And this is not what cryptocurrency was made for. Cryptocurrency was made for decentralization, and cryptocurrency was made by the people for the people. This is already stated in, if we just kind of Google here. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know where this thing paused. But anyway, so going back to all this, cashless society. This is already, I know you guys don't want to hear about what the Bible has to say, but I'm going to cover it anyways because I know this stuff and this is what I believe. So a cashless society is coming, confirming what the Bible prophesied 2,000 years ago. Now, very powerful forces are pressing passionately for a worldwide cashless society, and the Bible has predicted the move for centuries. 2 years ago, in 2015, Bill Gates promoted it. The key to this will be mobile phones, he wrote, already in developing countries. With the right regulatory framework, people are storing money digitally on their phones and using their phones to make purchases as if they were debit cards. By 2030, 2 billion people who don't have a bank account today will be storing money and making payments with their phones. The technology is already in place. Christopher Skinner, author of Future Banking and the Digital Bank, wrote, we already have contactless payment terminals, fingerprint recognition payments, micro and mobile payments. The only logical step is to introduce non-card basis, i.e. biometric-based payment systems. So using our fingerprints, our bodies, our chips in our hands, those type of things. Folks, whatever you do, don't receive the mark. That chip is the mark. Don't get into that. So stay away from that mark. Stay away from that chip. Don't receive the chip. Anyways, moving on. So, is cryptocurrency what the Bible's talking about? Well, yes. Yes and yes. And so we're going to get into all that stuff in my next videos. This video is running about almost 30 minutes now. Thank you for your time, and I hope this video was very helpful for you and that you kind of came to somewhat of an understanding. We're going to take this to the next level in the next video, so give a thumbs up, share this video with all your friends and family that you want them to know about cryptocurrencies. Share this with your bosses, share this with employers, share this if you're starting up a new business. Accepting cryptocurrency is going to be huge for you because there is so much need for it and so much want for it. So making sure that you follow all the legal regulatory framework, obviously, to get everything situated. So if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscription button, share it with all your friends and family, and thanks for watching. Until next time, Last Viking TV is out. But yeah, that if you guys don't know already on how to subscribe to my channel, here's a little crash course. Simply go ahead and watch the video of your choice on my channel and press this little subscribe button right here in the marking. I appreciate, and also if you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up and sharing the video with all your friends and family. I would again appreciate all of the shares and all of the likes. And if you scroll down below, you'll also see a comment section that you can also leave a comment by simply typing in here. Thank you for all of your comments, all your feedback. I do look at growing this channel, currently at around 1,067 subscribers, and holding strong. Thank you guys for all of your subscribing help. It costs you absolutely nothing, but definitely helps the channel grow and get more recognized and educating people. So, like I said, anything and everything that I do on my channel is just informational purposes. I'm sorry I did that video a little weird today, but I did pre-record it, and I felt that I had covered a lot of vital information, and I don't think I could have worded it any better than I did. So I apologize for that pre-recorded audio that I did already earlier, but again, that screen, whatever that screen was covering, you know, half my screen here, and you weren't able to see what I was covering. So I'd actually made 2 videos and put them into one for you guys. So please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I hope this video helped you, and we'll be covering more cryptocurrency videos later on in the next clips. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Last Viking TV is out.